Imagine walking into a museum and seeing something you weren't expecting. No filters, no censorship, just the human body on display. For some people, it feels uncomfortable. For others, completely normal. But here's the real question. Why do museums still defend this in a world where everything else is censored? And what they don't tell you might completely change how you see art forever. Look closer. You will see another kind of visitor in that same museum hall. They are not shocked. They move with a slow, comfortable rhythm. An art student sits on a wooden bench, a sketchbook open on their lap, their pencil tracing the curve of a marble shoulder. An elderly couple stands hand in hand, quietly observing a painting, their faces soft with a familiar appreciation. A local resident, perhaps on their lunch break, walks through the gallery as if it were a familiar park. For them, these halls are not a place of controversy. Peace, history, human connection. The silence here is not awkward, it is respectful. These visitors see something different. They are not blind to the nudity, but they are looking past it, or rather, through it. Skill of the artist's hand. The way light falls on painted skin, the powerful story a posture can tell, a hero from an ancient myth, a saint in a moment of spiritual ecstasy, an ordinary person captured in a moment of quiet vulnerability, form, shadow, color. For them, the body is a vessel for a much larger idea. Strength, love, sorrow, life itself. To understand why these works are in our museums, we must travel back in time. Long before our modern ideas of privacy, ancient Greek and Roman sculptors created figures of gods, goddesses, athletes. For them, the idealized human body was not a source of shame. It was the ultimate expression of perfection, of divine power, and of civic virtue. A statue of a hero was not just a portrait, it was a public lesson in courage and strength. The body was a celebration of human potential, a physical manifestation of the highest ideals of their society. These were not simply nudes, they were icons of a belief system. Centuries later, during the Renaissance, artists looked back to this classical past for inspiration. They began to study the human body with a new intensity, a scientific curiosity. Masters like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci dissected human cadavers to understand every muscle, bone, and sinew. This was not for shock value. It was a quest for truth. They believed that by accurately portraying the human form, they could more powerfully tell the great stories of their faith. A painting of Adam and Eve was a story of creation and loss. A sculpture of David was a story of faith and improbable victory. The body was the canvas upon which the most profound human dramas were painted. Of course, the story is not one of simple, unbroken acceptance. The debate over nude art is almost as old as the art itself. Outrage, censorship, fierce public battles. In the 16th century, loincloths were painted over the figures in Michelangelo's Last Judgment in the Sistine Chapel. In the 19th century, paintings that we now consider masterpieces were rejected from official exhibitions in Paris. These controversies were front-page news, sparking arguments in cafes, sparking arguments in parliaments. Even today, the echo of that controversy continues. A school principal in Florida is pressured to resign after a lesson on Renaissance art featuring Michelangelo's David. A social media platform removes a museum's post featuring a centuries-old painting because its algorithms flag it for nudity. Small but vocal groups organize protests outside museums, demanding that certain works be taken down or moved to a restricted area. These moments are often amplified by the media, creating a perception that the display of nude art is a constant raging battleground. Each new incident reignites the same fundamental questions about decency, art, public space. Why does a simple painting or a block of carved stone have the power to create such strong feelings? The answer is surprisingly simple. It is because we see ourselves. The human brain is hardwired to respond to the human form. From the moment we are born, we learn to read the world by looking at other people, faces, hands, posture. This is our most basic and primal language. A smile, a frown, a clenched fist, a slumped shoulder. We understand these signals instantly, without needing any translation. It is a deep instinctual connection. When we stand in front of a nude artwork, that connection becomes incredibly intense. There are no clothes, no uniforms, no social markers to create distance. There is only the body, in its most essential state. This can feel incredibly vulnerable for both the subject in the art and for us, the viewer. We might project our own insecurities about our bodies onto the work. Or we might feel an unexpected jolt of empathy, a sudden recognition of a shared feeling. Seeing a body depicted in pain can trigger a shadow of that pain in us. Seeing one depicted in joy can make us feel a flicker of that same lightness. This is why the reaction is so personal. If you walk into a major museum today, you will notice that the presentation of nude art has changed. The approach is calmer, more deliberate, and more educational than it might have been in the past. Museums have learned from the controversies. Museums have become more skilled at guiding the visitor's experience, transforming potential shock into an opportunity for learning and reflection. They are creating a space for quiet looking, where context is just as important as the artwork itself. One of the most important tools is the wall label. It may seem like a small detail, but that small block of text is crucial. It does more than just list the artist's name and the date. It offers a window into the world where the art was created. It might explain the mythological story being depicted. It might explain the artistic techniques being used. It might explain the social significance of the work in its own time. This information helps to frame the artwork, shifting the focus from the simple fact of nudity to the deeper layers of meaning. It's a quiet whisper from the curator saying, "Here's what to look for." Museums are also thinking more carefully about the physical space. A potentially challenging piece might be placed in a gallery with related works, helping to build a narrative. The lighting might be used to highlight the formal qualities of a sculpture, emphasizing its form and texture over its subject matter. Many institutions now offer specialized resources, such as family guides with suggested questions, and audio tours, where a calm voice provides reassurance and context. More and more, visitors arrive with curiosity and feel empowered to engage with the art on their own terms. So we come back to the beginning. We see the flash of shock on a visitor's face. We hear the unspoken question hanging in the air. But now, we see it differently. The museum's defense of this art is not about defending nudity. It is about defending history. It is about protecting the stories of how people before us have tried to understand love, faith, power, loss. These works are artifacts of human consciousness. To hide them would be to pretend we have always been who we are today. The defense is also about defending a language. Artists have used the human form as a powerful vocabulary for thousands of years. It is a language that speaks of universal truths that transcend time and culture. Museums act as translators, helping us learn to read this visual language through wall labels, tours, thoughtful exhibitions. They defend the right of artists to speak in this language and the right of the public to learn it. The calm spaces of the museum invite us to slow down, to look deeply, to feel awe, confusion, curiosity, and to think without judgment. When we stand before a nude statue or painting, we are not just looking at a bare body. We are standing at a threshold. Maybe it was never about the nudity at all. Maybe it has always been about what it means to be human.